Okay. Anyone else have anything particular they want to address today that came out of either last night's phone call or something that you're working on?
Yes, can you? I was on today and I was on with somebody and I was trying to figure it out and we had to get off because I couldn't figure out. And of course, it's my error because I still don't know how to use the system well. But when I
No,
was
that's why
sharing
you're
the
here.
screen,
That's this is the one place you're allowed to say that, just so you know.
okay, it kept giving me multiple screens and then they couldn't see my screen. And then I would put I did an instant meeting. And so then when I would put in a website, sometimes the website wouldn't stay in. And then nothing works for me today. So if we can,
Okay.
if you could just briefly touch, everything just went wrong. So I kind of took a picture, a snapshot of one page of what I was getting when I shared the screen. So maybe
Okay.
you can let me know what I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
wrong there.
Okay. So I'm in my back office, right? You guys can see that okay?
Yes.
That's almost like the new line, right? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
I got to get away from that, right? Okay. So the first thing is let's check on Harry's point. And again, always feel free to jump in and interrupt me if I'm not going in order.
Can
So
you
when we talk,
record? Can you record this at all, or?
oh, sure. Yeah, let me get back to that.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Record button. Okay. And that'll start in a second. Okay. So when you want to do a Facebook Live or YouTube or use a third party company, which I always recommend, like Restream or StreamYard, because they really do it really well. Otherwise, Facebook can be very difficult to broadcast live when you try to do it direct, which is probably what that gentleman's having. Um, so there's a couple of ways to set it up to make your life easier. One is you see where I'm in my account, and then I go to my profile. Okay. And when you're in your profile, it allows you to set up your streaming links so you never have to set them up in the future when you're scheduling your meeting. Now, one of the things that we didn't do a good job of is originally we were just broadcasting directly to Facebook Live and YouTube through our system. And then when we realized there were so many people that actually prefer to use these third party tools, not that they don't like ours, but they're just built for it and it's extremely easy to use. And it allows you to go to many more channels at the same time, which is their real competitive advantage. Some of them can actually broadcast on 30, 40, 50, 60 social media channels at the same time at a pretty cost effective price. And again, the two most popular are Restream.
So, and you're getting checked
Oh,
out. Hopefully, yours
sorry.
will.
Let me mute somebody. Sorry. I'll hit mute.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ooh, God, some people are loud. Sorry about that. So feel free to unmute yourself to ask me a question. Okay, let me get back to where I was. There we go. Um, so when we started this is really the only two popular channels that people were streaming to, so we put that in. But in reality, you're not limited to Facebook Live or you're not limited to YouTube Live. You can put in any streaming link from any social media channel when you hit edit. And so, because the only two things you need to broadcast a Facebook Live, YouTube, Instagram, whatever that may be, or a third party tool like Restream, that's RE Stream, or StreamYard, is these two keys, which you get when you sign up. Now, also, you know that they also have free programs, which I think allows you to broadcast to two of them simultaneously, which probably will cover 90% of your needs. So it's not really an additional cost. It's only if you're really a professional, you'll have your own account anyway, and you wouldn't want to give it up to use ours. But when you go to Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, they have a section where it'll give you these two keys. The quickest way is really just to Google, how do I get my stream URL? How do I get my stream key from Facebook Live or YouTube? We don't generate that, they do. Okay. And you literally copy and paste those two in there, hit save, and you're done. I mean, it really is that easy. So you could have Facebook here permanently, YouTube here permanently, or this could be Facebook and Restream or Facebook and StreamYard. So very simple to set up. Okay. Any questions on that?
That was
So,
good, but how do you said StreamYard, so where would you add StreamYard to that?
so in where it says Facebook Live and YouTube,
Yeah,
like I said, you're not limited to that. That's what I meant. You just ignore that it says Facebook Live.
Oh,
And-
okay. I got it.
Right. That's what I meant. Is we need to update it, right?
Okay,
Because
I
it's
got it.
expanded. So instead of saying Facebook streaming key, it should say any streaming key,
Okay,
Hey.
perfect. That's perfect.
right?
I got it.
So
Thank
that's the easy part, right?
you.
And then the second time you would use it is when you're scheduling a meeting. Okay. And because it's in there ahead of time, right, it'll allow you to set it up automatically. So when I'm setting up a meeting, hit my title, and you notice over here, it says, do I want to broadcast this meeting? Okay. So I'm going to hit broadcast this to Facebook Live or YouTube. Now, again, that would say, in reality, it means Facebook Live, YouTube, or any other streaming platform. Okay. And then I hit continue. And it doesn't matter. I can still use any of these 3 meetings when I'm broadcasting. I'm not limited because I'm broadcasting live. And because I click that button, this one will come up. So if I put that Restream or StreamYard in the Facebook one or the YouTube one, it'll come up. So even though it says YouTube Live and I put the Restream in, when I click this one, I'm connecting to Restream or StreamYard,
Okay, perfect.
right? That's the key. Now, if I hadn't set it up ahead of time, and this is where people go, I don't know what to do, you can fill this in here in any meeting. So let's say I do have YouTube and Facebook, or I do have YouTube, but I want to do a new one today. I don't have to go back to my profile and set all that up. I can literally just, as long as I know those streaming keys, I could put it here, and this could be Instagram today. It could be, some platform I never heard of. And there are so many platforms now that I never heard of. And that's all you do, right? And then you continue, you set up and then you finish going through the invite list, right? And then nothing changes. It's all the same scenarios. Your links are created. You're not creating an invite particularly for Facebook or YouTube, but it has nothing to do with that perspective, right?
Would those
And then when
would those streaming keys ever change, or is it just a one-time deal?
One-time deal,
Perfect.
one-time deal, right? And same thing when you use Restream or StreamYard. Now, without logging into Restream or StreamYard, let's say I have an account there. So I'm deciding in Restream or StreamYard, right, what channels are going to broadcast in that meeting. So I'm putting in that key, right, which basically opens up the door, but it's in StreamYard. Today, I might broadcast to 5 channels. I might broadcast to 2, or I have it set up on 2 permanently. So once you do that, you're done. So it's really, you log into Restream, you log into StreamYard, and you would decide that those keys that you put in, to make sure it matches to the amount of social media platforms you're going to stream to at the same time. Does
Perfect.
that make any sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. I know it makes no sense to no one that's ever done this, right? But if you actually are currently streaming, everyone would be nodding their heads, going, simple to do in that sense. Okay. And then once you start the meeting, be real clear. Because you hit that button that you've set up, you're going to broadcast live, our system will know that, okay? And so when you're in the meeting, and now let's say I just joined, but I haven't yet activated the meeting, it doesn't automatically happen. So what'll happen is when you hover over the record button, it'll pop up, you want to start live and activate your stream. You literally just you just go anywhere near it, and that button over the record button will pop up, and you hit it, and you can start streaming.
Awesome.
And it's very simple to use. Any questions on that?
Nope, that was it. Thank you.
Okay. Now getting back to the other question, right? Were you having trouble with share a website versus screen share? Is that correct? You may have to unmute yourself. Okay. So let me go through screen share, and you can show me where it broke down, right? Now this, for those, again, what makes our system unique, the screen share button here, you see it says share screen. That is exactly like Google Meets and Zoom, right? That's going to be, you're going to pick a tab, or you're going to pick another browser if you have 2 browsers open. Like I have right now, I have Chrome browser open, it's my main browser. And then I have Opera as another browser in the background. Okay, so I have one kind of secretly behind the other. Okay, so I'm going to do the Zoom experience or the Google Meet experience first, right? So I hit screen, and notice these 3 buttons always come up. Now, depending if I'm in Google Chrome or Microsoft, sometimes they call them different things, right? but essentially it's from left to right. They're all going to be the same functionalities. You never want to click on your entire screen. That's unique to a Zoom feature because they downloaded the software. So they have a different access to the computer. So we don't have access when you're in a browser like we are to that entire screen to share. When I do want to share my entire screen, that's when I open up another browser. And that browser can be my entire screen of that browser. So I can have 20 tabs open at the same time. And just like Zoom, I can click on tab to tab to tab, and I never have to worry what screen I'm on. That's when you want to use that window. So that window, if you see right here, this will be my whole other browser. It comes up right here. And that's where my Opera browser is. And I can have 20 pages open. I could have my Google Slide presentations open. I could have my PowerPoint presentations open. That's all going to be here, not in the browser I'm in. Okay. If right now in my Chrome browser, I've got about 30 or 40 tabs open, right? And so to share that screen, all I'm going to do is click that. Now, I don't know which tab do I want to share, right? I'm just basically notifying it that I'm going to choose a tab, but I haven't chosen it yet, okay? And also, see this button for sound? If it has a video that you want to play, you want to make sure, usually it's automatically on at the next phase, but just in case, that's always just a gut check. You want to do that. And then hit share. I hit the wrong one. Let me do that again. So I'm going to hit share screen, hit, I'm the right one, Opera tab. Oh, you know what? I think I'm in the wrong, I think I started the meeting here. Let me see. I'll go to pitch recording. Sorry. See, these are all the tabs I have open. My 30 tabs. I'm scrolling. But before I share it, I get to see what it is. I don't have to remember what the name was, right? I literally can see that little preview, and that's the screen I'm sharing right here. So that's how I do a normal Zoom style screen share. Okay? Any questions on that?
Okay, what did you just hit that gave you the multiple screens? What did you hit? Maybe that's what I hit, 'cause I got a bunch of those screens
Yeah,
like that. What did you hit?
I probably hit entire screen. When you hit entire screen, that's what I'm saying. That's the mistake, right? You do that. So hit Chrome tab. And as soon as you see these, you know you're in the right place. You know it's going to work, right? You can see every window I have open. It's pulling up tab by tab, okay? So always really focus, unless you're complicated, right? And you're going to open up a whole nother browser. Most people are always going to live right here on the left-hand side.
Oh, we can't see your screen.
Oh, I'm
see your
sorry.
screen.
Sorry, sorry. Oh, because when I hit the share button, you can't see it. They don't show that, right? So, yeah, I don't know how to show you that. Hold on a second. If there's a way for me to do that. Hold on a second here. Share. This is where it gets complicated because I'm doing two browsers. Okay, hold on a second here. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I can't show that to you. It's just technically won't allow me to do that. Yeah, I won't be able to show you that, but I can. But I'm saying to you, when you hit that share a screen button, always hit the tab on the left and you'll be fine. If that makes any sense to you to just share a page traditionally. Okay? Sorry, I can't show that to you. Okay? Go back to where I was. Okay, let me go back to my meeting. Okay, here I am. Okay, right? So I'm sure you can see. Okay, so right now you're seeing me in another meeting, right? Yeah. If I hit share here, can you see where it says choose what to share? Can you see Opera tab,
Yeah.
application window? Okay, so that's what I was saying. I'm so confused because I'm using two browsers, two share screens, right? So where it says Opera tab, this is where you're going to live.
Okay.
Every time you want to share a screen, make sure you click it from this left-hand side. Okay. When I click Opera tab, you see all my tabs came up?
Mm-hmm.
And you see how when I click on it, there's a preview right here of each tab?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So I'm glad I was able to figure that out. So
Okay.
whatever browser you're in, whether it's Safari, Microsoft Edge, Chrome, you're going to live on this left-hand side to share a screen like Zoom. If you're a little better at this and you're going to share a whole nother browser because you have two browsers open, right? One where you started your meeting and another one where you have all these tabs open, then you would hit Window. That would be this one, okay? You never want to hit this one. You never want to go here. You're going to here if you want to share our version of the entire screen, but the whole screen is whatever in the entire screen in another browser. And this one is all your tabs. This is what I meant about the sound. You want to make sure if you're going to play a video in another browser, sometimes that's not click. But notice when I click this, that's where I'm going to do it. So any questions on that?
Nope, that's good.
Okay, so that's our Zoom imitation, our Google Meets imitation, right? Where it's going to be the same experience. Okay. Now, when we went to share a website, so remember, I'm talking now to somebody, normal meeting, and when I hit that share website button, all my favorites will be right here. So I don't have to worry about typing it in ahead of time. Or if I do type it in ahead of time, I can hit my favorite button and it'll become one. So for instance, if I hit www.statefarm.com, see, I can hit the star and I can title it State Farm or whatever title I want. I may just want, SF, and then I save it as a favorite. Now it's saved and I never have to type it in again. And also realize you have multiple pages. See, these are 2 pages. So if you go, where is it? Well, notice these page 1 and 2. So you can save really as many as you want in that perspective, right? And before I show it to somebody, because sometimes you bring up a website and you want to just see what it looks like, you can hit preview. And preview is no one else is seeing it except me, which is kind of nice, right? And then once I want to activate it, and when I activate it, I usually like to be in control, right? Because I want to be in control of the screen. Standard means I'm in control. And you see it confirms it up here in the upper left-hand corner, standard. And now I'm making my best State Farm insurance salesman. They really should pay me a commission. But I want to make it interactive. It's time for that call to action after I've gone around on the whole site, moved it around. I just made it interactive. That doesn't get right. Simple as that. Now, sometimes if you hit it, it could jam up. Maybe you went too fast. Maybe it was an internet glitch for a second. Whenever that happens, just hit stop and do it again. And it'll clear right up. So never panic. You go, oh my God, I hit it and it's spinning. Oh, I hit it, right? It's like anything. Just sometimes it's just a little glitch for a second as it's trying to connect. So the nice part is interactive, standard, stop. That easy. If I want to then go to a completely different site, I always have to hit stop before I go to a site. And I just click on that site. Notice it's there. It's immediately loaded. Same thing. Now I can hit standard. Or I can start it on interactive. Anything I want. And remember, even though I'm seeing this on the right-hand side, my guests aren't seeing this. This is just for me. And so sometimes I want to remind myself how cool it looks. You see this little X here? I close it out so I can see their full experience. Because that's what they're seeing. And also you see these little buttons up here in the right-hand corner? This adjusts the view. So right now you see my cameras on the left-hand side, right? Well, maybe I want it on the bottom. And every guest can do this too. They can change the view. Maybe I want it on the top. So that's what's kind of nice too, is I have these options of how I visually want to lay it out. Now, every time I go, okay, oh my God, where's my controls? How do I get back, right? All you do is hit the button again and it pops right back. So even though there's other companies out there in the marketplace that maybe say, oh, we can send a link and we can make it interactive during the Zoom, or we can add a buy button, 2 things happen. They have to set it up like 30 years ahead of time. They call them widgets and create that. And then once they engage, the host has no more control. That's it. Once you turn it over to them, it's like you can check out, right? So as opposed to us, which can go from standard interactive. Let's just talk. 2, let's just say, for instance, there's a whole bunch of you on the screen with me, and I want to just go webinar mode. When I'm making this great presentation, I don't want to have 30 boxes of video screens. So I just hit settings, and then I go to webinar mode, and I literally just hit start webinar mode. Here it says activate webinar mode, and now everyone on screen will disappear, and only me and the content will appear. Or because I have no participants in here, I could check the names of the people I want to be on there with me who are going to be speakers. And I can change that on the fly the whole time. That's how easy it is to do. So the whole point that we did is we want to make sure that you can do things on the fly and in real time, that you can anticipate. Like, for instance, you don't have to know the website ahead of time, right? Somebody's going to sometimes, they love to challenge me sometimes, right? Well, let me see if this site is interactive, right? Great, I could type it in. Whatever site you want to throw at me. And especially
I
when
have a
you're, and especially when you're doing a demo and you're trying to impress them, nothing impresses them more with their own site, right? You show them your site, they go, oh, it's probably a trick. But could you put up my site? I go, sure. Give me the site. Let me do it. I'm sorry. I know you had a question. I cut you off. Uh-huh.
No, that's okay. That's okay. How do you get? So I'm on my other screen and I have it up and I'm the host. But on the right hand side, where it says share content, website slides, I don't have. What? How do I access? How do I open this up? Because I don't have this opened up when I.
You see this button on the bottom, this yellow button right here. I'm going to close this out. Right. This is it.
Okay.
This is the magic button.
Okay.
That easy. Right.
Okay, because I've been simply trying to figure out how did he get to that? Okay, I see preview center.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
telling you, sometimes it was so obvious to me because I live in it, right, 24/7, right? But you're so right. If you don't know where, or sometimes you think, like for me, sometimes I've been there, right, and I close it out, and I have that panic mode. It's like, oh, I got to find the button to get back to it, right? But the whole point is, what I never want you to have to do is feel like I don't want you to ever say, yes, hold on a second. I'll do this for you, right? Everything is kind of seamless and very easy to control, whether it be start a recording, whether it broadcasts Facebook Live to YouTube. Same thing with the translate button. People always say to me, well, I'm in a meeting and all of a sudden somebody said, hey, could you turn on the translate button? And you think, oh, did I need to do something ahead of time to do that? No, you literally just hit translate. And this big box opens up, right? And all you do is hit start translating. That's simple. And for the guests, they'll get the same box that you got, except it'll say to them, choose your language. And here's how they choose the language. Or let's say that you have a host. The host doesn't speak English. He's going to use the translation because he wants to hear the guests speak in that language. So once again, today, like, let's say, for instance, we have a guy in the car and he's got the windows down and it's really noisy. And I don't want to mute him out, but I don't want to mute everyone else out, right? So the mute buttons is all on, as opposed to, remember, the mic is for you, right? The people button is everybody else. That's why we're calling it other people, right? So you open up the people button, and if I was in the one where you're at, I would see the names of every single person here. And if I wanted to mute everyone out simultaneously, where it says mic and cam controls, I would do that. And I would hit block mic and I would quiet everyone together. But let's say I just want to block one person. Each person here has a camera and a microphone. And as the host, I can block them out where they can't unmute themselves, or I could block them out where they can mute themselves. And you'd see that with all the people's names. So again, once again, everything is click to make it appear, click to make it go away. Same thing, I can have the people button open, but maybe I also want to have the chat open at the same time. Chat's open up on the bottom. My people button is on the top. We also now added raise a hand. So all of you, if you're speaking, I can't see you. Remember, I'm in another meeting right now, but we were able to use that really effectively on yesterday's 4:00 training, where I was going and people were raising their hands. And if I had them on mute, I would unmute them, but also I can ask them, to speak, accordingly, right? So everything I can X out individually or do it from here, either way that I want. So any questions on this? Now, the reason the host here has hands is maybe I don't want people raising their hand during the meeting because it's a distraction. I'm trying to make a presentation, and I want you all the questions at the end. I could hit this and not allow people to raise their hand until I'm ready. So everything. And also later today, this screen share button, a great question came up in yesterday's training is, can we stop any guests from screen sharing when they feel like it, which could interrupt my meeting? And yes, today we're going to add that button where the only time a guest can screen share is when you give them permission to as well. And so any questions on the functionality here of live during the meeting? Right. As soon as you see this a couple of times, right? Now, just mind you, this button here, where I showed you, you can decide your view. Whenever you have a meeting, you may want to tell your guests, especially on their phones, that they have this button too, those 4 little boxes. And the reason that's important is on a phone, real estate is king, right? And so if you're sharing a website, they don't want to see all the people. They really want to make sure they can maximize the space on their phone. And so they can control it where you get rid of all the people on the phone and you only see the website. You can make the people on the bottom. You can make the people on the top. And we're the only company that can do that literally can create a personalized phone experience as the guest that they're in charge of. The host doesn't have to do that. So if you have a bunch of people to do that, it's a great feature. And it's right here, same as on the phone. Okay. Also realize here in the upper right-hand corner, a lot of times the people say, hey, I can't get in. Because from Calendly, sometimes Calendly links get bogged up. Here's anytime you want to send an invite to somebody, right here, you can do that. And also you can change your view if you want dark mode, light mode. Just a little extra button to play with on that side. Anything else on here? So we covered how to share a screen, focus on the left, stay on the tab. If you're going to share a whole nother browser, because you're a little more sophisticated, then you're going to hit window, stay away from scan screen. Share a website. I don't know. I don't know if we can make this one any easier. Also from here, a lot of you say I have a PowerPoint presentation or a slide presentation. Well, if you can convert things to a Google slide presentation, right here is the Google Slide Player. And what's kind of nice is, look how easy it is to present a presentation here. I get to see the screen first as the host before I share it. And then as soon as I start sharing, my next slide will be here. And this is how I change the slides. So I could see the slide I have. I could always then see my next slide, and I can go back and forth at any time. So let's say I make this great presentation, but now I want to share a website. All I do is I hit stop sharing, hit the X, and then I can go back and share a website.
Steve, you mentioned yesterday that you could click on a video in that slide presentation.
Yeah, it's when you're sharing, it's completely interactive. So your guests could click on a video if you embedded a video in your presentation or a hyperlink. You can absolutely do that. Because not only are our websites interactive, so is that slide player. That's one of the advantages of using our slide player versus traditional PowerPoint, which would not be interactive. Sure. Well, what happens is I would Google first, right? Converting a PowerPoint into a Google slide presentation, right? Because there's ways to do that. You can't do that in our system. You can only upload a Google slide presentation, but the conversion tools are very easy to do. And so you can have a choice. Let's say you don't want to do that. You can share your PowerPoint the way you normally would. You open up your PowerPoint, then hit share window, and the PowerPoint would share. But if you have the opportunity and time, I think it pays to convert it to a Google slide presentation. So you have those controls and you have more features. Like I say, that's another bit of a training, but there's definitely third-party sites to do that. Okay. So does anyone have anything else in this? Otherwise, I'm going to go to a particular topic, but I want to make sure I covered all of this for you guys. Because again, it's the small details, right? That mean everything.
When it's
So
when it's the right time, I have a quick avatar question.
okay, well, speaking to avatars, let me use that as the leap, right? So last night, we had 4 testimonials. And the testimonials really weren't the point of just saying, look how great pitch is, or look how great I'm doing in pitch, right? What I wanted people to get out of the testimonials yesterday was how you can really use pitch, use our technology when you're showing the technology, right? And Phil, who's on today, I think has done an incredible example of doing that. I want to see if I actually have that today. Let me see if I have it. I'm sorry if I don't. Here it is. So here's an example, right? And in case you haven't thought of it, I think you should, right? Let's say, for instance, Jimmy is a big network marketer in this industry, right? Maybe he knows even more people than Phil, right? He's been trying to recruit Jimmy on and off for ages into our system. But he's actually working another network marketing company, and credit to him, he's focused on it in that perspective, right? And every time, oh, sorry, somebody, let me hit the mute button. Yeah, go back to the mute. Oh, you did it for me. Thanks, guys. Okay. Sorry. Let me go back to Jimmy for a second for me. Okay. And so what Phil did, and he's learned to do, instead of showing all the information about pitch and telling them how great we are and telling, oh, if you get in front of Steve, your life is going to change, right? He decided to make a tool for Jimmy that Jimmy can use in real life, whether Jimmy wants to or not. He created a video. He went to YouTube, right? He got a copy of Jimmy's voice. He took a picture of Jimmy. He found Jimmy's replicated website, and he created a marketing tool as a gift. Whether Jimmy ever joins or not, he will be able to use this tool to build his business. And
hey guys, it's your
just
buddy
remember,
Jim Chung here. I've been on the hunt for ways to make life more fun, save some serious money on travel, and actually enjoy the little things again. A few months ago, a good friend introduced me to something that's been a total game changer, Club Viago.
see?
The kind hotels and resorts usually only give to big companies on hotels, resorts, cruises, flights, and more. No
Okay.
middleman markup. You search through multiple booking engines, the Club Viago Plus membership. It's around $99 a month after the initial pack. And the savings.
So here's my point. That's a minute and 30 seconds. It took Phil, and I'll let Phil can speak to it himself, right? Maybe a half a day to put that research and thought into making that for Jimmy. And the truth is, maybe it'll go nowhere, right? But I guarantee you, when he gives that to Jimmy, Jimmy's going to be shocked. And this is not the first time that Phil's done this, so I can tell you that's why it works. He's done this for other people and actually did get them to enroll. Whether they enrolled out of guilt because he did it, but you know what actually really happened? They loved it so much they then went back to Phil and they said, "Hey, could you change this? Could you change this script?" Yeah. And you sure, as soon as you join, you can do that, right? But they loved it so much they became engaged to modify it.
What's the
So-
best way to record a video audio off of YouTube? Just using your cell phone?
There's a couple of different ways, right? I know some people do that and it works great depending on the quality of it. If you Google converting YouTube videos to MP3, there'll be like 50 sites that come up. Half of them are free. And some of the free ones work great. They'll work great for a period of time. It's just, it's the wild of the internet. Some are paid. Some of them allow, and all you have to do is type in the URL and it'll convert it. And then you don't want to upload an hour and a half video to someone. And some of them have, click 30, you can click a 30-second clip. So you can edit it right from YouTube, a 30-second clip, or sometimes you could do it in the conversion tool. And I would say to you that it's maybe the hardest thing to do in our business because we didn't build it inside ourselves. And I'm going to do that. I want it again, because my whole goal is to make it where anyone can do it. I'm just giving you that in-between step in terms of it could be the most powerful thing that you could do. Now, I wouldn't do that for every single person I'm trying to recruit. But when you look at someone like Jimmy, who's capable of making 40, 50, $100,000 a month in this business, is he worth a couple of hours of my time? That's where you make that decision. So what's great about our system is you have a library of videos in your back office, 1 minute Steve video, 3 minute Steve video. Someone like Stephen Gregg copied all of my videos, all my scripts with him, right? Under his brand. He didn't rewrite the scripts. He made it easy. He said, oh, I like that script. I'm just going to say it's me instead of him, right? And then and he sends them out generically to people. And then some people are worth more than a generic effort, right? And that's how you become successful, by sending the right content to the right person. When it comes to marketing, right? Is you don't send the same, in your own mind, logically, would you send the same piece of content to a 50-year-old, to a 25-year-old, to a man, to a woman? If you make the effort, you're going to get a better reception if you speak it to them in their demographic, their voice, and their common sense. Is it worth the effort for you to create those multiple marketing pieces? Now, companies can create them. We're going to create pieces instead of me being the spokesperson. We can have a woman, just like we have in our Success Academy, right? We have Peter as a man. We have Linda as a woman, I think, right? To try to make that obvious. But what's incredible about our platform is that you're in charge. You're in charge of the messaging. You're in the charge of letting me work for you. You work for yourself, or creating a third character to work for yourself. So sometimes when I play a celebrity, it's not that you should use a celebrity and worry about whether we have the rights or not. It's about, it could be a make-believe person who's your virtual assistant, right? Every CEO has an executive assistant. Why not have yours? Right? It's not about pretending that you have something that you don't have, or that we don't have something that you don't have. It's about you being efficient. That's the miracle of it. Like I say, those 4 videos I made, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 7.5 minutes, I was able to do that in half a day. Never could have done that if I was recording the videos live. Because I know my guest doesn't care if I'm live or it's a photograph. They're not paying attention. They're paying attention to the message, right? But as a messenger, I've learned how to be, like I say in the video, I've learned how to be in 2 places at once, be able to do that. And the other important thing that I wanted everyone to get out of last night, and who didn't get out last night, hopefully you get it out today, is don't limit your conversation to that we're a webinar platform anymore. In my demos, I've made a shift, and I can tell you it's made a big difference in terms of some of the people I'm talking to who before would have said, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in doing webinars. I said, well, and when I say to people is, well, what is your point of contact with people? What is your preferred point of contact? Is it a webinar? Is it a text? Is it an email? I said, otherwise you have no point of contact. If it's not one of those 3, then you're really not engaged. I should be having this conversation anyway. So to me, it's the 4. Is it social media? Is it email? Is it text? Or is it webinar? Or is it a combination of both? And they always have an answer that it's one of them. And my point is, I could make that experience better. So if you're sending a text, how do you send the text now? You may send a video of yourself, and you may have a link in the bottom that they click on. What happens when they click on the link? They leave you. They leave the video. They're on their own. They can't get back to you. With us, they don't leave. It opens up on their phone, on their computer, in their laptop beautifully. You can hear me, see me, go to any page in the website presentation, forward and back, and I'm there to hear again if you wanted to hear that. There is no company that does this in the world. It's the best SMX texting interactive platform there is. And you can create a beautiful thumbnail. They're not getting a link. That could be a picture of you if you know them, because that's why they're going to open it. They go, oh my God, Claudia sending me a picture. I'm going to click on this. What is she wanting me to see? And if it's someone you don't know, now you could be a little creative and upload a picture of something that'll grab their attention. And that happens the same in an email. And that happens now the same in a text. So once again, we are an interactive point of contact, regardless of what you do. And so when I was on the demo today with somebody who was a very powerful marketer, and I made that point to him that we're the first platforms that no matter what you do before we meet you, I never ask you to do something different of what your strength is. If you're brilliant on social media, I want you to double down on it. If you've got 15,000 people in a texting platform, put 30,000 in. If you still believe that email blasting campaigns are the best thing in the world, double down on it. What I'm saying is let us be a part of it. Let us be the conversion tool for you. Let us be the point of contact. Not conversion going for the big sale. It could be just sign up for my newsletter so I can go to the next step. I mean, we had a brilliant marketer on a week ago Tuesday night who signed up, and the very next day he used the platform for the first time, and he sells $800 packages. And the first meeting, he sold 2 packages in real time. He's in disbelief. Never happened before in his entire career. That before the meeting was over, the cash register rang. And some people, today I did a demo for a guy whose only goal is for them to fill out that form online. If he can get them to fill out that form online, he's got an entire expensive marketing campaign that'll follow them the rest of their lives with information, right? And when he clicked on his own form on my demo on his website, right, it changed the way he thought about marketing. So when somebody, says to me, who's our best customer? It depends on who you know, because our platform can meet them where they're at. So if you're in the insurance business, you can make a compelling case for how this can change their lives. Real estate, e-commerce, school, education, trainings, public speakers, right? The only time I think that we really don't make a difference is if you're a Fortune 500 guy and you're doing your Tuesday, 3:00 board meeting, and everyone is going to be bored to death because all you're going to do is present facts and figures. We're going to be just as boring. You're not going to have them do anything. There's going to be no difference. But I do guarantee you that really smart executive who wants to get noticed and is making his weekly presentation, he may design that presentation differently than he ever did before, because he's had tools that he never had before, right? And so I appreciate you guys, showing up to these meetings, because this is where you master the tools. Everyone can use an iPhone, but like I say, some people use it to measure their furniture and take blood pressure, right? And some people use it just to make a phone call. There'll be people that'll sign up in our platform and they'll use it the same way that they use Zoom, and it'll be a missed opportunity. And so 2 things to focus on, right? It's not about how you're going to use the platform. It's about how the people should use the platform. So that's why if you think of the world only through your own experience, right, you're really limiting the world that you live in and that you have access to. And that's the point of our technology. We really have zeroed in on that we can meet people where they're at and create a better experience to go do that.
Steve, this is Gail. I have a quick question about the thumbnail. And then someone put in chat, they have a question about the avatar. So I'm not sure if you saw the chat. But you saw some pictures I had downloaded for my thumbnail. Well, now I wanted to go in and delete the picture from the thumbnail. So when I hit delete over on the right-hand side, I'm in the edit screen and I hit delete thumbnail, it's in red. And then I think I save or something like that. It doesn't delete it. The picture, the image is still there.
Okay, I'll check it. When you want to delete it, by the way, not that we shouldn't fix that if that's the way it is, But are you deleting it because you want no thumbnail, or are you deleting it because you want to change it? Because in reality, right, if you hit change, it's going to change it anyway, right? The change is definitely 100% working. So I'll confirm that the no thumbnail perspective, is working. Maybe they didn't check that, but certainly the change thumbnail is.
Yes, I believe I didn't check it, but yes, the change thumbnail is working. It's that little square, and I hit it down at the
Yeah,
bottom somewhere, and I
correct.
just change and then upload a new image. But I wanted to get rid of that particular image because I think I was trying to test something. Like if I send it to myself, and that's where I realized it's not deleting the image itself.
Yeah, no, and it's entirely possible that we missed that. Let's
And it
check.
could be mine. I keep getting an error when I do it. I think I sent an email and I put in there the type of error that I'm getting.
Okay, let me see. If I hit edit here for a second, right? Thumbnail. Oh, this one doesn't have one. So let me upload a
Right.
thumbnail here real quick.
Okay.
For photos. Oh, we did Jim. Okay. So let's say I have Jim and I want to save it, right? Let me title it. Make sure I'm doing it fair, right?
Okay.
Jim. Thumbnail. Okay. Now I'm saved. Okay. Now let me go back to edit one. I think this was it. Let's see if Jim is there. Okay. Jim is there. So now I'm going to hit delete. Thumbnail will be removed or save, undo. Let me hit save. Okay. Now let me go back to edit. And if it worked, there should be no thumbnail, right? Do you want a drum roll, please? Music in the background?
Correct.
Okay. See, he's there. So you're right.
What?
See, it didn't delete. See? You're right. Okay.
And it
There we go.
said,
Now I hit change.
Yay, my
Okay.
team.
See?
I was holding my breath.
There it is. Okay.
yeah, it said recording successful. And the last one, it was red. It said recording not successful. With the other
Right.
Okay. So now let's go to edit. Now. See, it does change it. So we just got to work on the delete button.
And so I have that avatar question if you have another minute.
Sure. Of course.
So I'm doing in the middle of an avatar. I'm very excited about it. I can actually show you the screen if you want. But
Okay.
I'm
Hold on a second. Let me just stop screen sharing. Okay. You got it.
offering a class that I'm running. Picture.
Okay.
There it is. I wrote my script. I uploaded an audio, but now when I hit select voice, it's not one of these choices. And so
Well, that was the
therefore
voices. Was your audio a voice or was it an audio script? Because that you were in the. If you upload audio, you're not. It doesn't save your audio scripts. It only saves voices.
no, it just saved the voice. So, but if I click on audio, by the way, upload audio, my script disappears, but I've copied it.
Yeah.
So, but if I go
Correct.
I went
Yeah.
to upload audio and I uploaded a little snippet of me talking. But now when I
Right.
go into select voice, it's not there.
It shouldn't be. Correct. There's two different functionalities. Okay. So the select voice recording is different than select a script instead of a script recording. It'll save your voice recording as a voice sample. It won't save it as a script. So once you process it, it then erases. We don't keep an audio file of everyone's scripts.
Oh, so how do I get the generate button here to start working?
Okay.
Because it's grayed out. So I got my photo.
Okay. So hold on. So let's see. You have your script. Hold on. Scroll up a little more. Let me see. I can't see what you don't have. Okay. Did you hit enhance script? You don't have to.
No, I wanted
Okay.
to go with my script.
Okay.
But I should hit its enhance script.
Well, I just think it makes a better product, personally. Mhm.
but I don't want to enhance it because
Yeah, that's okay. Hold on. Scroll. You're going too fast. Let's see. Okay. So you have your URLs in.
He hasn't selected a voice.
Yeah. There you go. Harry, I love it when you're better than me at this.
Select the voice. Mine isn't in there. The recording.
So you see that clone voice up in the right hand side. That like that, and you talk into it. And you clone the voice in 30 seconds.
I can upload.
Either one. Correct.
Or you can record your voice.
There's my voice there. So now I'm uploading my voice.
You have to title it where it says voice name. That's required. Put in your at the top. It says voice name up on top, not description. See, that's the red asterisk. And then the button comes on.
There we go. There it is. Okay.
That's it.
Nice. Select that and confirm.
That's it.
I wish I could. I did a Charlie Chaplin voice that was spectacular, but now I'm advertising one of my film classes. But unfortunately, I emailed his estate, and they said, "No, you may not use it."
Peter, why don't you play with the screen and then let's hear it.
Okay. Wait a minute. Generating.
Oh, yeah, it's going to take too long to render.
That's to render. Plus, I gotta go edit the script.
Yep. And I've got to have a call at 5 guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, Steve, this is Rusty.
Yeah. Hey, Rusty.
Can you show me how to make Facebook Live work? It's not working. It won't connect. It won't connect.
Harry will do that with you.
Rusty,
We just went through that earlier.
I sent you a text. I can connect with you.
Separately?
Okay, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you have any issues, you'll have issues, then I'm happy to get on a one-to-one with you tomorrow and go through it. Or if you still have issues tomorrow. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Sorry, I got to run. I got a 5 o'clock. Okay.